You said that while you were IGP, during an incident at the airport where you said there was a defect with the plane that President Jammeh was on.
Iko watu minebe IGP yala watu ibe airport to kabirin kuluntila e problem soto ninge.
You said that the reason why the airplane did not fly out is because essentially you grounded it.
Iko mi atina kuluntila fangomanti kato itata lo anyatole.
As IGP, what gave you the authority to ground an airplane at that time?
And item IGP wato mune o sembo ditela pour kaje ko katalo plunitila nyato.
Because ngankale.
Because I swore.
Kabanko kanta aning Gambia dingol niol ke kanta.
To protect the Gambian people and the Gambia as a country.
Wala tina ngaji be konna nyantole ngalo flight ni nyato wala nsamba lota nyato nkai jina.
This is why I said it is my right to ground that flight, and I stood in front of the flight to tell him that he should come down.
IGP.
Because I was the IGP at the time.
There are other service chiefs menbeje bare moma noma nteda mapet.
There were other service chiefs present, but none of them did anything. I was the only person.
Because mubuka hani.
Because they were all afraid.
That was Ulungo Fangoleng Ngadani Roke Musambubla Kuala, I recall.
That was the day I appealed to him because of Musambub, and he was brought back.
Because Musambub benun embassy in US, I okili wanata alaftanya kasida olankako sa nyimbula emuru na mutala dimbal beje biri Musamuta umansonkana.
Musambub was working at our embassy. When he was recalled back to the country, he decided to forget that man or marginalize him. But I told him, sir, don't leave this man like that. Then Musambub went back, but he refused to come back.
Nga Musambub called nti Musambub ani ya Jammeh fango belori.
Myself, I called Musambub, myself, Musambub, Yaya Jammeh. We were standing together, and everybody was looking at us. That's where I appealed to him about Musa's case. But when Musa went back, he didn't come back.
Musa Musa ainte mutale kado birimba koto akan take care. So obviously ninga kuje menkana nsano as an IGP mbala plasoto mbakelele.
Because when I was under Musa, he looked upon me as a younger brother. So this is why I had to intervene. So I did my best to allay the situation, how things were happening. But when Musa went back, he didn't come back.
So from what I understand, it's not within your authority as IGP to ground airplanes, but you chose to do so on that day because you felt you were the only one who could do it.
Kung nga faham nyaming oto mankete la doko dia mantre la kala pour kata lo kuluntele nyato bare kabriyaje ko itelong IGP wato inata je ko jarita le pour eta lo kuluntela la akana kuluntela ta kanati
ma authority soto but as an IGP, as a police officer, you are there to prevent life and property, take care of lives and property. Take more member of flight kono, Minister Jamal Lebeji. It will be kono te malo member carry. It will member do man. It will be ngalo ne member carry. As nga feel ko ninyum flight tata. Abe problem cost lale. Ole mburindi lot of flight nyato nga jindina.
Well, as IGP, my job was to protect people's lives and the Gambia, and there were many people there. But when I saw what was happening, this is what made me run and stand in front of the flight so that it will be grounded. Because there were many people on board that flight. A lot of ministers were on board that flight. So this is why I took it upon myself to stop the flight. Because we all saw what was happening.
At a few weeks, Biriko Yari flight Jankata, Purkata, France, Amon Futano, he had to return back. Emergency Fiancoti.
Because he himself, after that incident, when they repaired the plane, a few weeks later, he wanted to fly to France, but the plane was unable to go. He went up to some distance and came back because the plane had a fault.
The last issue I'd like to address is something that I told you about yesterday regarding a newspaper article reporting statements that you made.
Kula bang lafta min kacala ja wolong ngakul min foi nyala bang oto ko mimbe kom abe kibar kaitolto.
It is an article that we addressed during Mustafa Sisse's testimony yesterday, entitled IGP Calls for Loyalty to Prezi and the Nation.
Kibaro lo mimbe safiring kibar kaitolto ko Mustafa ya formule Jammeh ko IGP wole ko loyal to the president.
The president.
Pour song president oma.
The article is dated the 1st of December 2008.
Article ni abasaferi ne 1st December 2008.
And it was authored by Hatab Fadera and Asan Sala.
And Mia Safe Wolom Hatab Fadera and Asan Sala Wolaya Olomalas Fenko Nulia Safe.
It was following a donation of 14 vehicles that President Jammeh made, brand new pickups for the police force.
President Jammeh
pick up motor the
police or
so I will.
President Jammeh amunda pick up motor the police or pick up tanin nani wolio kumole safe.
So I will read out two sentences, two quotations from that, to have your response on it. And the first one states, if you are not loyal to the president and his government of the day, you have no room within my force, because I will make sure that you are out of the police force. And it goes on to quote further. Quote you as saying, so if President Jammeh is dying for us, we should also die for him. Do you recall making that statement? And if yes, what did you mean by it?
State House.
When the vehicles were given at State House,
police carrier speak DJ.
In my police carrier, I never gave a speech.
It was Interior Minister may speak the State House. Vote of thanks.
It was the Interior Minister who gave that speech at the State House. In fact, he gave the vote of thanks.
Biriye motol distribute Interior Minister diamota then ya Jammeh conclude mo mandi amot.
When the vehicles were distributed, the Interior Minister gave the vote of thanks, then Yaya Jammeh spoke. After that, nobody else spoke again.
Hachilota kanganyim for damen barente kamen for always.
I cannot remember ever saying something like this, but what I always say
is promotion would be based on merit.
Promotion would be based on merit.
And we should be loyal to the president, who is the commander-in-chief and the Republic of the Gambia, and to serve our people's interests.
I always say that President Jammeh is the commander-in-chief, and we should be, the Gambian people should be loyal always.
We should be loyal to the country.
We should be loyal to the country.
The Republic of the Gambia. We should be
loyal to the Republic of the Gambia.
I guess when he says it in English, there's no need to repeat it,
okay.
Unless you interpret it into Mandinka.
All right.
Please continue, Mr. Badjie.
The reason why I say that, every country you see has a leader.
And
any leader, any sitting leader, if he has not been ousted by elections, nothing else should have removed him. The way he came really was not correct. We all know, because we were all PPP. But when he came, what he did and what the former regime did that he ousted were so different that it was just like day and night. This TRRC never took place in the PPP time. What all he did.
Ole nyimbenati. Barentebuka for loyalty only to the president, carefully to the Republic of the Gambia, because near na Fenko Jibe, Nimbenkala every 5 years.
Because what I used to say is, what is important is loyalty to the Republic of the Gambia. So, because every time when I am swearing, if you listen, every 5 years when I am swearing,
ni very engaged la.
When they are re-engaging me, that's how I swear.